Hello everyone, my name is Siying. I'm from the City University of Hong Kong, China. I will be giving a talk about the paper Typist Experiment, an investigation of the human-to-human dictation by role-play to inform voice-based text authoring. Nowadays, voice dictation is used for text entry, especially on mobile devices, and voice is widely accepted as typing for text input. The speech-based experience gets disrupted when user must go back to the screen to review and edit text. How can we design the future dictation systems to support all of the fundamental tasks in author a piece of text by the user voice? To inform the design of such interface, it is important to have a holistic understanding of how people could do this naturally. In the old time, writer could write an entire book by speaking to a typist. How did that work? We would like to observe such a situation where one person is composing, reviewing, and editing a piece of text by dictating to another person. Many previously studies have observed and analyzed how people speak, either to speech recognition system or to another humans. However, this work focuses on analyzing people's speech patterns to improve the speech recognition accurate or to inform the design of conversation agents. Their goals are not for text authoring. Role-play is a simulation technique to construct an experience under controlled conditions designed by experiments or therapists. In this work, we choose to explore a new role-play method to achieve this goal and obtain new insights that existing findings from visual studies. We designed the Typist experiment to observe natural human-to-human interaction in corporate written text tasks, in which 10 pairs of participants took on the role of authors and typists to work on the text authoring tasks. As an author, the participant was asked to compose a piece of text by describing a given image. As a typist, the participant needed to type in what the author composed and edit it according to the request and instructions from the author. Both participants were told to communicate freely while trying to finish the task as fast as possible. Afterwards, the author and typist switched their roles for the second half of the study. In addition, as a dictation interface are used in both audio only and audio with screen scenario, we test both conditions in our study and investigate the differences. We transcribed all the conversation between author and typist into text and perform a semantic analysis in the utterances. By analyzing the natural speech patterns of both author and typist and how they interact with each other, we sought to answer the following research questions. The findings about how authors dictate to the typist are based on our categorization of all utterances from the authors. The frequency of each behavior pattern are calculated into normalized percentage. As the figure shows, 8 categories emerge in total, with the most frequently observed utterance for creating new content, re-speaking, and explicit editing, consistently with previous study of all studies. We found in natural human speech there is a lot of ambiguity between composition and editing behaviors. Existing systems support tend to separate the composition and editing into different models. We identified both the explicit and the implicit way that author instructs the typist to create or edit text. Re-speaking was often used as implicit instructions for editing text. Even re-speaking itself can involve 5 different goals. For instance, in the paragraph, we can observe the re-speaking used for override and the continued conversation. We also observe author dictation strategies, including how they reduce uncertainty and the repetition, how they adjust their speech and formulate their thoughts to facilitate the task. The challenge author felt including feeling rushed and disorganized, giving up the control of their text to another person. They also expressed some support they wish to have from the typist. This finding can serve as inspiration for the design of future dictation systems. We now look at the research question 2, how the typist assists the authors. Here are all categories of typist verb assistance provided to the author. Blue is reactive assistance, and pink is proactive assistance. The majority of typist utterance over 85% were for correcting or preventing errors. The typists also faced challenges in the process of assisting authors. 4 main challenges were identified in the interview: mishearing words or wrong spellings, misjudging pronunciation due to the lack of understanding of the content being expressed, unsure about how to provide feedback, losing track of the author. We also observed how author and typist coordinate their attention to locate the text, how they synchronize their speech and rhythm by providing consistent verb feedback. Misunderstanding often occurred when typists misheard the words, misunderstood the editing scope, or sometimes cannot distinguish the author's intention between the conversation and editing. Over time, authors and typists adapted to each other and adjusted their speech and the ways to providing feedback to their partner. The audio only and audio with screen modality affect how authors made editing instructions, asked questions, and how they reviewed content. We found the audio only condition allowed their thoughts to flow more freely, while with the screen condition encouraged more precise editing. In conclusion, our paper is the first to use role-play method to understand how user could naturally interact with another person who act as a service provider comparable to an intelligent systems to inform the design of future interfaces. While we acknowledge the difference between human and intelligent agents, we believe the intrinsic ability in human-to-human communication help us to elucidate some of the natural way to provide instructions and what kind of help would be effective from the service provider perspective. In our paper, we have included many more interesting findings. Please refer to our paper for more details. Thank you for listening.